Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Ray. First of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. So this post is a direct response to all the questions I've had about my process and having more practical guidance, not just insight and the potential. Answering questions that are quite specific, such as how do I open my heart center, and how do I heal, and how do I work with energy, and how does it work? So what I've done is I've dug up an old app that I used to work with, and I've reactivated it. To give you a bit of background very quickly, this is something that I've been working with for quite some time, even though I've only really been here on YouTube, on this channel, for 3 weeks. It's something I'm incredibly passionate about. And in many different ways, as I've gone through my healing journey, I've set out or felt compelled to share what I've been learning in different ways. What I'm going to share with you today, I have worked with people on a one-to-one. I've worked in executive coaching. I've tried all sorts of approaches because I feel that what I have to share is incredibly important. It can transform your life, and in terms of your health, your well-being, and understanding your spiritual path, I feel that it is of value, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. This is my app. This is what I created at my kitchen table. It was in response to COVID, and I wasn't able to travel to Brussels where I was working. So redirection, thank you universe. I sat down and I put everything I knew about my own process in a way that I could guide people one-to-one. At the time I was guiding one-to-one, but it's also something you can do standalone, so you can move through these 6 weeks. I realized it was so important to have that regular practice, really to experience the full potential. Then you need to do this regularly, day to day. So that's what I've done. And here you can see the first week. And it's really about taking you step by step with all the awareness that I understood over the years, really. And then on each day, there's a guided practice to really anchor in the awareness and to start the process of presence and connecting in presence and observing and focus, and what you direct your attention to and how you shift out of reactivity into a conscious response. And that's deeply healing. We're starting to work with energy, starting to work with all the awareness that you gain. And I can't emphasize enough how important the consistency is, because to teach this, which is what people have been asking about, requires an experience that is deeply personal and integrates so much awareness. And what I've tried to do here, as you can see, is to make it as logical as possible. So we're looking at the potential here in week 2. It's going to give you an overview of that. So we're looking at the overall potential. And this was my path to the awakening, coming back to the truth of who I am, but also my potential in every sense to be healthy, mind, body, emotionally, and to understand my potential. That is my creative potential. So we're looking at that overall potential, and then looking at what that means in terms of the mind, the emotions, the body. This is what I call the tangible triangle. And each day there's practice, there's returning to, there's anchoring in. And what I found working with people in the past is that there is a very natural shift that happens. There's nothing you need to force, okay? It's the awareness, it's the practice, and it's your own exploration of what this means to you. So week by week, we go through. I'm going to put the link in the description, of course, and you can go in and have a look at this yourself. But really what we're doing is we're coming all the way down to week 6 in the end, And here we're looking at, because of all the awareness and the practice, you will already be in that state of accessing alchemy, transforming consciousness into different states, different frequencies. And whether that's your health or your emotions that may have become held in or blocked as an energetic memory, or whether this has created or manifested a physical symptom, an illness or a contraction, pain. Okay, and again, this is your own experience. This is your own path of discovery. And this is how I arrived. And this was my path to health, but also back to my core self. And I'm showing you all the time in these exercises and with the awareness how you tune in and connect to your core self. So you're accessing all this awareness from that anchored state, that presence. And so when you get to the end, it's about accessing your full creative potential, becoming the alchemist, as I say. This has now become a way of life for me. It's not something that I dip into, it's something that has become a natural reflex, and it starts with that day-to-day practice. And what I would say is that should this resonate, should you really want to try out the process that has helped or worked for me, then it's about continuing that practice after the 6 weeks have come to a close. So there are some other meditations and shorter courses that you can access as well. And these are what I've developed over the years. And what I'm looking at more nowadays, having gone through my healing journey, and I'm still using everything that was in that 6-week course. I use that on a day-to-day basis, intentionally at times, but sometimes just as a reflex naturally. But I'm looking more and more at my creator state, what I choose to create. Here we've got chaos to creativity. So whatever's happening in life, how you respond to that, how you harness that creative force and your point of creation, you as the creator or the co-creator. Okay, because when we're connected and understanding our relationship to everything, it's in that dance with creativity itself, being the creative force and harnessing the creative force. So if this resonates and you're interested in giving this a go, you can subscribe. There's a monthly subscription of $9.99. This is what I had it up as when the app was active over a year ago now. It's been dormant for a while, so I'm really excited if this content is going to be helpful in any way. So yes, you can subscribe. You click on access, you'll get directed to this logon page, or you'll create an account first. Okay, and just to help you navigate below, there's discover to the left at the bottom. You access all the audios where it says audios. And you're also going to have 2 more buttons that say community and profile. And it's in profile that you'll be able to manage your settings, cancel subscriptions, log out, that kind of thing. Okay. So there you go. That's the introduction to the Lighthouse app. And this really is a reflection of my own journey and my attempt to convey and to share all the awareness and all the practices that I have followed over the past years, going back 10 years now. And I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have the consistency. That's why I've set it up in this way. And I would say that if you're new to this, if you're focusing on your healing journey or you're new to energy work, I'd start out with the Alchemy of Stress, rather than dipping into the small courses. I'm happy to take any questions, but please put them in the threads to this post. It's probably easier for me to answer questions in one space. And the last thing I thought I'd add is that normally when I worked before, I worked live. Okay, I'll do a post on this tomorrow because I think it's important to explain in a little bit more detail. But also as a result of COVID and not being able to work in situ, I started to do distance healing. And the intuitive coaching and the distance healing that I used to do as part of this format, 6-week course, was very powerful. And I would like to offer that in some way. And I will look at providing that should you be interested, and also interested in looking at distance healing, which is very powerful and very fascinating. Okay, so I will leave it there. And again, any questions, let me know. I look forward to your feedback as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next post.